Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ishi Indriani. I will presentation about chapter 4, that is testing, in book The Elements of Language Curriculum, and the author is James Dan Brown. Introduction. In this chapter, the author begin by exploring the most important types of decision that must be made in language program, that is proficiency, placement, achievement, and diagnostic. So in this chapter suggests practical steps that can be taken to set up and implement these tests in a language program. Making decision with tests. These four categories are probably emphasized because they fit neatly of fundamental types of decision that must be made in language program. The first is proficiency decision, the second is placement decision, the third is achievement decision, and the last is diagnostic decision. Proficiency decision. Proficiency decision can come into play in initially gauging the proper level for program goals and objectives or when revising them. So proficiency decision evaluate the general knowledge or skill required in try into a group of similar institution. Placement decisions are necessary because desirability of grouping students of similar ability together in the same classes within same program. So this decision intends to group students of similar ability levels together and to make classes homogeneous. So to do the students relative knowledge or skill levels assessed compared to other students. Achievement decision. To make any decision related to student achievement and how to improve it, planner must have some idea of amount of language that each person is learning in a period given of time. So this decision is about the amount of learning students have accomplished. In short, achievement decisions are central to any language curriculum. Diagnostic decision. This type of decision is clearly related to achievement decision, but here the concern is with obtaining detailed information about individual students' area of strength and weakness. So these decisions are made at beginning or middle to foster their achievement by promote the strength and to eliminate weakness of students. So in this chapter, the author also explained about a clear hour distinction between two major families of the test. There is norm reference test and criterion reference test. Norm reference test or NRT, a test which is designed to measure how the performance of particular student or group of student compares with another student or group of student whose score are given as the norm. And criterion reference test or CRT is a test which measure a student's performance according to a particular standard criterion which has been agreed upon. So this essential difference between this definition is that in NRT, performance of students is compared to the norm, and in CRT, a performance of each student is compared to a particular standard, called criterion levels. So, in the book, give example about NRT and CRT. In NRT, regardless of actual number of items correctly answered, if a student score in 84th percentile, he or she performed better than 84 out of 100 students in the group as a whole. And for example, in CRT is if the acceptable percent of correct answer were set at 70% for passing, a student who answered 86% of the question correctly would pass. NRT and CRT differences. The first is type of measure. In NRT, measure the general language ability or proficiency. For example, ability in Spanish or overall about English language. And in CRT, measure the specific objective based on language point. So in the CRT must be specific and objective. And the second, purpose of testing. In NRT, spreading student out along a continuum of general language ability or proficiency. And in CRT, assessing the amount, the material the material learned by each student. And the third is distribution of score. In NRT, the score is normal. The score is around in the mean, but in CRT, the score is various, often non-normal. The fourth is test design. In NRT, a few long subtests with a variety of item contents, but in CRT, a series of short will define that subtest with similar item contents. And the last is student knowledge test question. In NRT, the student not have idea about the contents in test item. It contrasts with CRT, the student knowing exactly about the content and to expect in test item. So that is from me. Thank you very much for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.